Well, now joining us with all of the details on the recent decision to ban extreme left activists from entering the West Bank or Judea and Samaria, please welcome Executive Director of Honest Reporting, Daniel Pomerantz. All right, so let's first talk about these activists. How many activists exist like this in Israel?
Well, there are large numbers of activists on the right and on the left, but what we're talking about here aren't really activists. Both on the right and on the left. On the right, there were people who were actually carrying out terror attacks against Palestinians, and over on the left, there are people who are physically attacking IDF soldiers or helping to engineer riots in which other people physically attack IDF soldiers.
And who's the base of support for these organizations?
Well, there is a local base of support. It's somewhat niche. Also, some of the larger left-wing organizations.
For which organizations? The right wing is niche?
Well, both organizations, when you get to the extremes, tend to be niche. Mm-hmm. But some of the larger ones, for example, B'Tselem and Breaking the Silence, they actually get about 65% of their funding from European governments. But there is local support as well.
Now, my question here is kind of, there are a lot of critics who are saying, okay, there's a fine line here in terms of allowing people to speak freely about their beliefs, and then, you know, essentially stopping them from having a voice here in Israel. Is that what we're seeing take place with Bennett's decision right now?
Well, the accusation against Jonathan Pollock, who's an employee of Haaretz newspaper, is that he was physically attacking IDF soldiers. That's not free speech. That's assault and battery, even if it's against a soldier. Now, did he really do it? Well, he never denied it. He simply denied that Israeli courts have any authority over him and refused to show up. The result of that is that he was arrested several days ago, not for his actions in the West Bank, but for missing his court date.
For skipping his court. Wow. All right. So what's going to happen now with anarchists against the wall? I mean, can they continue to act, and what happens if they are found in the West Bank beyond today?
Well, the first thing they would have to do is actually begin showing up to their court dates. They can contest this in military court. They can appeal it all the way up to the Israeli Supreme Court. And ultimately, they could, in the past, orders like this have sometimes been overturned, or more likely they've been limited or modified in certain ways in order to protect people's rights to free speech, while at the same time protecting both Israeli soldiers who might be under attack or Palestinian civilians who could be under attack by far-right groups.
Well, I think there are a lot of people who are wondering, then, what is the future of other organizations like this? Are we going to see more organizations banned for speaking out against Israel?
Well, to be clear, this organization hasn't been banned, and their activities have been limited, but not for speaking out against Israel. It's been for physically assaulting IDF soldiers. That's not legal in any country in the world. It's not legal in Israel, and it actually creates a safer situation for everyone if you can prevent these sorts of assaults from happening before they take place. Otherwise, it's just a recipe for people getting hurt.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.